It is the oldest of that distinguished trio of museums in Fort Worth, but it has been closed for more than a year while a new addition was built and a new director was found. It also has a new name, the Fort Worth Art Museum, a museum of 20th century art. The new director, Richard Koshalek, has arrived, and the doors will open again on September the 8th. Mr. Koshalek came from the innovative Walker Art Center in Minneapolis, and last week he talked about how he feels about his new museum and what he wants it to do.
I think there's a certain feeling about the city. There's a certain insistence on quality in what the museums do, in the programs, in the architecture, in the staff, of the different museums. I mean, for example, a building by Philip Johnson, the Amon Carter, a suburb building by Louis Kahn, and a very nice addition by O'Neill Ford. I think it says something about the people in the city of Fort Worth. I think it says a lot about how they're going to use the museum and what they want the museum to do. I think they're going to insist on quality. I like the new building. I think that O'Neill Ford is taking a very difficult problem. I mean, we had two buildings, both different in form, in space, and so on. And I think he's given us a major entrance. I think he's given us very practical, very economical exhibition space. I mean, we have no grand lobby. We have no marble staircase. I mean, it's just a building we can use, and we can use to do our exhibitions and to show the permanent collection. I think he's done a very good job, really, under very difficult circumstances. I feel that there's a pluralistic audience for museums, you see. It's very diverse. There's a different audience for just about every program the museum does. If we do a film program, we get a different audience than if we do an exhibition, for example. So we're going to have a very broad program. You see, we're going to be very interested in film. We're going to be very interested in dance. We're going to be very interested in music. We're going to be interested in architecture, for example. Very interested in architecture. And we're going to be interested in painting and sculpture. So we're going to try and provide a high-quality response to the needs of the public, of a pluralistic audience, a very diverse audience. And in terms of exhibitions, I think we're going to be interested in more experimental, smaller shows, you see. I think it has become very expensive to collect and put together large exhibitions. And so I think we're going to focus more on research, more on experimentation, helping artists do new works, and hopefully that work will have a specific relationship to this city. We're going to be very interested in regional artists. I know many of the artists here. I know George Green, I know Sam Gummelt, and so on. And I think what they really need is they need more than just a show in the city of Fort Worth. They need to have a show, say, in the Albright Knox in Buffalo, New York. Because I think if an artist from Texas, say, goes to Buffalo at the Albright Knox, and he meets the artists who are working in Buffalo, they have a different sensibility. They have a different feeling about their work. They exchange ideas, you see. And I think that's a very good idea. And I think we can do that with dancers. I think we can do it with poets. I think we can do it with filmmakers. I think we can do it with even architects. It's a possibility. If we're going to be successful, we're going to be successful because we did encourage young artists. We did discover young artists, you see. If we don't do that, we're going to fail. It's just that simple. And I think we have to work harder to reach the public. I mean, if support is coming from the citizens of Fort Worth, I think we have to really get information to the citizens of Fort Worth on the programs. We're very interested in, for example, buying a full-page ad in the local newspaper and having have a graphic designer design that page, and then have a critic write on a specific program at the museum. We're hoping to do 10 articles. 8 would be on exhibitions, 2 would be on the permanent collection. And we can reach 250,000 people with information on the Fort Worth Art Museum. And I think we have to do that. I think we have to try very, very hard to reach the people, you see, of the city who support this museum, you see.
What do you think in this country are the hot spots of art action right now?
In terms of artists or museums?